We bring in Jenny Horn, host of Next Gen Investing. We'll start off with Oracle, which has constantly been in the news, and some more news to digest this morning. Good morning, Jenny.
Good morning, Nicole. And yes, seeing some news really tied to its relationship with TikTok, as right now, according to various sources, many are believing Oracle could be playing this key role in a TikTok deal between the Trump administration as well as China. So Oracle's among the consortium of firms that could be enabling TikTok to then continue its operations in the U.S. if a framework deal between the United States and China is finalized. Again, according to these various sources who then gave this information to CBS News. But the precise structure of the final deal was still pretty unclear, at least as of yesterday evening. But it will include multiple companies, according to these sources. It's not necessarily, though, clear the level of involvement that we'll see from Chinese firms, including, of course, the current parent company of TikTok being ByteDance. But right now, who will have control over some of these algorithms? And I mean, TikTok has been really deemed one of the most powerful, is definitely going to be of note when we hear from President Xi and President Trump speaking on Friday. So attempts to reach Oracle executives and a White House spokesperson have been unsuccessful, so we haven't really gotten confirmation from Oracle or the White House. But the commercial terms have been apparently agreed upon, according to the Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, who did say that on Monday in Spain. So these are following his meetings with, of course, Chinese officials on wide-ranging issues. But all that to be said, I do think that the TikTok deal is one that will be closely watched, because we've sort of kicked this can down the road and finally, hopefully, putting some clarity on this deal and its ownership, at least as of Friday. We'll have to obviously see how that shapes up, but we're expected to have more of an answer by at least Friday.
All right. I mean, look, when we heard there was a deal, fundamentals were in. The speculation began it would be Oracle, because it was Oracle last time. So, you know, Oracle has the pockets, has the connections. Not surprised to see this. How about NVDA? You want to give us a thought on NVDA today?
So NVIDIA is interesting because what we're seeing is some developments regarding its RTX 6000D, which is the first China card initially designed to fill the void left by the banned and then unbanned NVIDIA H20s, which has reportedly now received relatively low interest in China, according to some reports we got from Reuters, who cited these really ongoing trade tensions. So estimates by JP Morgan and Morgan Stanley have suggested now that NVIDIA may be on track to produce between around 1.5 to 2 million of these GPUs by the end of this year, potentially leaving it sitting on a huge stack of these unwanted cards. So the specific array of GPUs that NVIDIA is allowed to sell to China at this point has fluctuated wildly in this year, of course, as we've seen Trump really initiate the on-again, off-again tariffs and trade blockages, particularly in those in relation to their high-end, most advanced compute GPUs, which are aimed at these AI tradings and inferences. But to comply with these regulations, NVIDIA has churned out Chinese-specific GPUs like the RTX 6000D, as well as the H20 and other models like RTX 5090D. But the latest developments in the space are more focused on the 6000D card, which right now, again, according to one outlet, is being met with more of a tepid response. That was, again, initially designed to really fill this void, but it's been interesting to see, as this is the latest development from NVIDIA in this space, yes, but it was reportedly designed, again, to fill a ban on another chip. So we'll have to see what right now NVIDIA has been talking up its B30A as a major replacement for its Blackwell architecture. But right now, the GPU design, I think that's finding the favorability will be interesting, because we are seeing competition flood the space. I mean, we've talked about Baidu, Alibaba right now cutting out NVIDIA in China to produce their own chips. It will be very curious to see how NVIDIA fares in that given region, especially because their guidance didn't necessarily include Chinese sales, sure, but also there was the expectation of they could reach a resolution, and that was a huge reason analysts were optimistic. So they have to figure out a proper way to distribute within that country, but competition is definitely not letting up anytime soon.
All right, Jenny Horn, great to see you. Thank you.